We'll start with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and Cam has a few things to say about this one, but I will say, first of all, I retract my statement about my man Drax not being funny anymore. Because, that scene with the basketball,
him just throwing the basketball.
It's so stupid. I've seen it so many times, but I watched it probably 40 times in a row, and it's so good. It's the sound of the basketball
just hitting the little kid.
You have to assume that in the holiday special, he flips a car. So if he's throwing a dodgeball at a little girl's face, you have to assume that kills her.
Kills her, dead, on spot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this now, literally only for Drax, because, that's my guy, whatever. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 obviously releases May the 5th, 2023. Cam, what have you got for me with this?
I got some trailer breakdowns for the big ones this week, just a couple talking points. We obviously get our first look at Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter, who was teased in the last Guardians of the Galaxy.
Know he would cast in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like Will Poulter. He's great.
We talked about that in our very first episode, Seth. Come on.
Did we?
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's okay. That's right.
3 months ago already.
Yeah, that's true. Crazy how Tom finds. Also get our first look at Chuck Wuji as the High Evolutionary, who created Rocket and also created that like weird U.S. looking planet that the trailer opens up on, because it looks like the U.S. or not the U.S. I should say, the Earth in general, but it's all like animal human beings. So yeah, that's his goal is kind of, he's the main villain from what I've read. His goal is kind of to create the perfect human. Adam Warlock obviously is supposed to be that perfect. I shouldn't say human again. I should say being, whatever. Also get baby Rocket. There's a lot of speculation on whether Rocket's going to make it through this movie or not. Lila the Otter, his little love interest.
Oh, so cute.
Cute little hug of the CGI animals. And then 2014 Gamora. You get a little look at her. She's in charge of the Ravagers at this time. The movie is kind of trying to go.
I still don't get that. She came to 2014 or she came to 2023 with Thanos' army. Should she not have been snapped away with Thanos' army? Or is it like does the snap know that
Tony Stark is just that guy who's like everyone except Gamora? No, she was obviously not snapped away. Did you think she was?
I figured she would be snapped away because she came over with Thanos' arm. I didn't know the snap knew, when people turn.
Well, I don't think it did, but I think they were just like, yeah, she wasn't snapped away.
Right.
Yeah, but she's on the run because she runs away from like Quill and everyone at the end. So that's and at the end of the movie, they have pictures of her up on the like when Star-Lord and Thor are there. They are looking at pictures of her on that little hologram screen. This is where my nerd comes in.
But like still, like she should have been snapped away. That's
I get what you're saying. And then lastly, just Cosmo the Space Dog, played by Maria Bakalova. Just a little tease of her, but I like it. All I want to know is fellas, who do you think's dying?
The Hedgehog. No wait, what is it?
Hedgehog.
Is it Hedgehog?
I think it'll be someone we're not expecting from the trailers, because I feel like they made it very obvious to pick a couple people from the trailers, but I think it'll be something different.
I think it'll be Drax.
I think it's gonna be Drax too.
If it's Drax, I'm never watching the MCU again.
Dave Bautista has been open about like wanting to like
Dave
retire
Bautista is not coming back, whether he's killed or not.
What about Quill?
And then also,
really, I didn't know that.
No, so there was the clip in the trailer where Quill and Mantis are like hysterically crying, looking down at something. I don't think we would get that reaction from Mantis unless it was Drax.
Yeah.
Which one's Mantis again?
I like that type.
The antenna lady.
Fucking Mantis looking one.
Okay.
Yeah, but then
the one who was in
counter...
the Guardians.
Yeah.
The holiday special.
I saw a counter argument to that, though, that Mantis is able to just feel emotion to the highest degree, so she would kind of be that way about anyone dying.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do agree. I think Drax too.
I think Drax.
I just want to get overall thoughts on the trailer.
I think James Gunn just does a really good job at taking care of characters, which is obviously why I'm very excited for him to take over the DCU now. I will say this: I'm in this like such a minority where I don't love Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think it's very.
I don't either.
I think it's very.
Minority?
When I posted my MCU ranking, I had Guardians of the Galaxy at like 16 or 17 out of the 31 projects, and people thought that was very low. I think it's very like Ragnarok to Love and Thunder, where Guardians 1 and Ragnarok do a really, really good job at balancing that comedic tone with the dramatic elements of the movie. And then you go to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and then obviously Thor Love and Thunder. They just go full comedy. And I don't think I particularly love that. So I am excited for the third, and I'm hoping that we kind of dive back to what made the first Guardians so fucking good. But I have the utmost faith in James Gunn.
I think that, like, when it comes to MCU films in general, some of the strongest character work was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, like in terms of James Gunn and how he does with characters. That's why so many people connected with Guardians so much, because it seems kind of more authentic in a way, and you actually care about the characters is the main thing. So I probably agree with you. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think I liked. I definitely didn't like it as much as the first, but I didn't think it was a huge step down necessarily. I think
I don't. I still
4,
have it
3.5 kind of range, maybe.
Yeah, I think I have it at a 3 out of 5, maybe a 3.5.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as far as like myself, I'm actually quite looking forward to this just because I like the characters in general. I think they're quite funny, and I think it could be good. But yeah, anything else to add on Guardians?
I will say one thing, and I saw a lot of discourse on Twitter specifically that people didn't love the design of Adam Warlock. Listen, I've been an MCU hater for
I think he looked fine.
I think he looked great. Like, I don't know what they expect. Like
actually,
it's either you paint him CGI or you just paint him gold. So I'm perfectly because it's like what they did with Vision in Infinity War. Like, when you have like the up close of Vision's hand like on Wanda's like cheek, you can clearly tell it's paint. But it's like, I'd rather that than them to just absolutely just have like Paul Bettany wearing like a green screen costume and it making it look like horrendous.
Yeah,
I thought the design was great.
Complain about everything to do with, like, I don't love the MCU, but people will find something to complain about, like whether it's the CGI or whether it's the bad practical effects, whatever it might be. People are going to find something they don't like. People will have watched the trailer and deliberately picked out something that they can post on TikTok and be like, this looks shit. And then that's how they get views, because that's what people do. I mean, anything else to add, or are we good on that, Guardians?
My only question is, just like lastly, obviously I'm not out on it, but I know like Tyler and George, Seth kind of hasn't really cared for it ever. But I think Tyler and George are more so like out on the MCU a little bit more than me. Maybe not out, like just like, I'm not as pumped for projects as maybe you once were, but like I've seen a lot of people say this trailer and the Ant-Man trailer kind of bring back hope, because they are like heavier in weight, I would say. And also James Gunn was doing an interview and he was like, Guardians 3 is pretty emotional and it's pretty sad, and it was not a huge fun to film. So like doing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special was like a nice breath of fresh air for all of them, because it was able to like get a little weight off their shoulders, you know? So does that give you any bit of hope? Or
I'm excited. I'm very excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know a lot of people are joking that it's like Spy Kids or whatever. I'm excited because this feels like the first MCU movie since No Way Home where there are actual stakes. I know there were stakes in Loki, but I think we all kind of had that expectation that Loki was going to be a setup for the greater MCU. The stakes in Loki weren't going to necessarily feel high, but now you have Kang in the quantum realm, and he's going to try, I guess, exploit Ant-Man to help him get out of the quantum realm. It feels like we are back to like phase 3 of the MCU, where we're leading up to Infinity War and Endgame, where every single movie just feels like the stakes are so high and they just mean something for the greater MCU. And then I hope James Gunn makes me cry. I really do.
I think, like, in terms of me, I'm in like quite a good position when it comes to anticipation, because I don't like the MCU, but I definitely don't dislike the MCU. So I'm in a place where I'm not kind of looking at an MCU film coming out and being like, okay, this isn't going to match up to this phase because I don't care enough, but then I'm not going to be like, I'm really excited. I'm just down the middle, so I don't hate it before it comes out. I don't love it.
Have you given an MCU movie a 4.5 or a 5 out of 5? 2?
Yeah, 2 4.5s. 2 4.5s. Winter Soldier and Infinity War.
Okay.
And then I've given a couple 4s as well, and then like those 3 5s. But like I've said before, I don't have a disdain for the MCU in general. So I think I'm coming in a good position where I'm completely down the middle. Like, there's people who hate it and they will find things to hate about it before it comes out. And there's people like Cam, no offense, Cam, who will just find things to love about it because they love the MCU so much. Whereas I'm kind of down the middle. I think probably Tyler is probably like about the same as well, where he's kind of down the middle, doesn't hate it, doesn't particularly love it. Am I right in saying that?
I'd say I'm in between you and George because I want to say I'm down the middle, but then like when Black Panther Wakanda Forever, when it was like 3 days before it came out, that's when all of a sudden I just got super excited for it. So like George sounds super excited for these upcoming projects. I'm a lot more cautious, not because I just think they're gonna be bad, but kind of like I'm just in Seth's realm where it's like I'm just not super excited or not excited for these movies, but I know like when the week comes, I'm gonna be super excited. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is going to be awesome, not because it's not going to be a send-off for all these characters, but it is for James Gunn, so I think he's going to wrap it up for himself in a really cool way. But yeah, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, that's probably my number one most excited for, which kind of worries me because it's the next one, so if this one doesn't live up to expectations, maybe I'm going to go full Seth mode where I'm just like, I'm going to watch them and whatever happens, happens. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's pretty much my mantra for the MCU right now is just we'll see.
Question: Why is the excitement so much higher for Ant-Man than it is Guardians 3?
Well, like what George said, the stakes feel a lot higher, and yeah, I just think
I guess so.
Guardians of the
Is
Galaxy
it to
Volume
do
3,
with
I'm
Jonathan Majors, the villain? Kind
Well, yeah,
I
it's just going
think
to set up the future so much.
Jonathan Majors had a good intro in Loki that I think got a lot of people excited.
Okay,
myself
I haven't seen
very
Loki,
much
so that's
included. Yeah, so I think that's kind of where the anticipation lies. Also, I believe Kang is a really big comic book like villain. If
people are saying like
if
he's
people
gonna be,
read
like, the
that,
villain, aren't they? Like a Thanos or whatever.
yeah. I mean,
Fair enough.
I haven't read them, but
Cool.